Hey, what's up guys and welcome to Tennis channel. And few days ago, I finally got a chance to try a new racket from Yonex, which is the PERCEPT 97D. Actually, it's not been released in Thailand yet. I don't know what is wrong with the distributor here because this racket line has officially launched globally with TFO and Varinga using this new paint job on tour, but I can't even find a demo rackets to try it out here. Fortunately, someone at the tennis club bought the second hand from Singapore, so I get my hands on it to try. Okay, so the Percept is a new racket line from Yonex that replaces the Recall Pro line. I think it's a good idea though because we already have a Recall line that is marketed as a spin frame, while the Recall Pro is more of a control frame. So why don't you just came up with another good name, and here it is. I'm actually very excited to try this racket out because I have a good feeling about it. But the one that I'm most curious about is the 100D, not the 97D. That is the new spec they didn't have on the Recall Pro, the 100D. And the spec on the paper seems to be perfect for me, like 305 gram, unstrung, 100 square inch, 18-19 string pattern, headlight. So we'll look forward to it if I can get one. Anyway, let's come back to the 97D, and this one is 320 gram unstrung, 18-20 string pattern on the 97 square inch, strung with a Hyper-G of 17 at 50 pounds. However, it doesn't look that dense to me, probably because of the isometric head shape that makes the head of the racket a little bit larger. First impression, I think it feels good in the hand, the weight distribution and the balance feel right, and I didn't even know at that time that it was a 320 gram. I thought it was a lighter, like 310 or something. I think the headlight balance helps a lot. It's quite maneuverable and compared to other rackets in its weight class, and I can loosen my wrist and keep the ground strokes whippy, and I like that. I will not refer to the Recall Pro that much because I honestly don't have much experience with it. The feel of the racket, well, it has a solid and direct feel with crispiness. I like it. It's almost a perfect blend. But you can actually feel that the flex is mostly in the shaft, but the hoop is stiff. So if you hit at the sweet spot, you still can get a plush and crispy feel. But if you hit outside of that, probably to at the hoop, you will get a firmer response. And it could be hard for some people, but overall, I still would say that it's pretty comfortable for me. The string bed pockets the ball really well, and one thing I like is the pop, like it pop on almost every ball that I hit. And this kind of reminds me of the Gravity Pro. But the Percept tries to make me feel like it's a forgiving racket with all that pop that I get. But it's actually not, because when you hit outside of the sweet spot, it pop, yes, but the ball doesn't go as you would expect it. This racket can generate quite a lot of power. It has pretty easy access to the power level compared to like a pro staff. I had to shorten my backswing to like half of what I normally do and just follow through the ball, and I got enough pace and the plow that I want. Kind of like what I did when I use a Gravity Pro though. So the static weight is not quite an issue here because by shortening the backswing I can prepare and hit the ball just in time. I like my forehand a lot because I can be as compact as I want and still get the power that I need. The launch angle is not as low as I would expect from the 1820, but the good thing is that I can get access to depth effortlessly. Most of the balls go deep to the baseline, and I can get good amount of topspin as well. Although it's not a spin machine, but It's not a liability to me. I can deal with the high ball quite effectively with a spin. And when I really need to pull the ball up from like below the net level, I have no problem with it. On the control, yeah, so far no serious issues. It was good overall, but I tend to overhit more often than what I normally do on other 97 or 98 square inch, and more than what I would expect from a dense 97 square inch racket. What I like is the directional control. Like, I feel I can redirect the ball pretty easy, even when I have to deal with rising ball or like half volley. On the run, forehand and backhand also feels good. I can whip it back with good topspin and amount of power, so it can get me out of defensive position pretty good. On my two-handed backhand, it's pretty easy to hit with, like other Yonex rackets in general, but not as forgiving. Another thing that I like is the service return, because I can just punch it back with compact swing and still get it deep inside the court. On the backhand as well. The backhand slice was pretty good, probably not the most outstanding features, but it works well. I can cut the ball deep and keep it low. At the net, nothing to complain. Easy pop, easy to control the direction and to put the ball in the position that I want. Okay, to sum it up, I believe this PERCEPT 97D is one of the most user-friendly control frame that I ever try. It doesn't feel like using an 1820 97 square inch, but more of a 1619 98 square inches for me. The racket is very maneuverable for its 320 gram. It's easy to hit with. It provides good feel and easy pop, pretty comfortable as well, but not the softest. It's equipped with decent amount of power and topspin, and you can get good depth on your ground strokes. And it's headlight and whippy. Doesn't need to take a big full swing at the ball. The downside is probably the depth control a bit. I think the feel between hitting topspin and flat ball is not that much different, and sometimes I'm confused and flatten the ball too much when I want to get spin. And I think the head of the racket comes a bit lag when taking a fast swing at the ball. So who should be using this racket? Well, if you are a big guy who can wield a 320 gram racket and you want a control frame that is easy to use and does everything great, then PERCEPT 97D is for you. I think it can be suitable for many game style. It's an all-court racket. Well, thank you for watching and see you in the next video. I hope I will get my hands on the 100 and 100D as soon as I can in the future.